Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Gabauer, Superintendent of Mount Pleasant Area School District. Joining us today is Mr. Scott Breyer, probably a familiar face to many of you out there. Has been here within the Mount Pleasant Area School District since 2001. I know Scott was a computer teacher and has been serving in the role of elementary principal for quite some time.
2008.
2008. And in that role, it's not a single role of a building. Scott's taken on two buildings. He works at both Norvelt and Donegal. And when we go throughout this conversation today, we'll combine both of those. So if we're talking about different projects going on at one, we'll take a look at the other one as well. Good. So, Scott, I know during the summers, there's a lot that happens, and it's difficult for people to know what it is that takes place during the summer. You know, the school year ends, the school year begins, but for us, a lot of times when people think maybe it slows down, sometimes it actually picks up speed because of the planning, preparations, and what you want to see happen for the next school year really take off. But if you were to look at the buildings, because I know you've had some we've had capital projects going on around the district. Within your specific building, can you speak to what you've seen and what capital projects or what things have been done for physical improvements?
Well, I think the first thing that anyone who's been in the buildings will notice is we got new lights. New lighting in our classrooms, in our hallways, our cafeterias. It's a much brighter environment. Another thing that you would notice is prior to the pandemic, a lot of our classrooms were set up with alternative forms of seating. We had pods, we had different chairs in the classroom. Some teachers use exercise balls, different things for our students to sit on. Those types of items are coming back into our classrooms. So our classrooms are getting back to a point where it allows for small group interactions and our teachers to move around the classroom. So that's exciting. That's an ideal situation for our elementary schools. At Norvelt, we've had some improvements and some additions to the playground. Dr. Campbell helped us out with a grant there through the Rotary Club. So some additions to the playground, and then
it's a shade structure, correct?
We got a shade structure. We got some benches, some picnic tables.
Wonderful.
Nothing really, no like the play items on it, but just things to enhance our playground and the usability of that space. In terms of the other additions to the building, in every classroom this year we'll have tango boards, which are interactive screens for our students to use, really popular amongst the teachers and the students. Another hands-on item, another piece of technology for them to use. So some nice additions to the classrooms, into the buildings, things that if you're in the building a lot that you would pick up on, but casual passersby might not pick up on, but definitely some enhancements to both buildings actually.
Yeah, and the tango boards have been a tremendous addition, and they're relatively new, but we've been able to implement them district-wide in probably a matter of 18 to 24 months, and I know we're excited about those. Yeah, because the kids can get up, they can actually walk up, and they can touch the screen. They're 75-inch screens, and they can be moved around the room. We were talking with Mr. Shaner, the director of technology, a while back about the tango boards, and they used to be cumbersome, the interactive boards, because we used to have the projector mounted in the ceiling, or we had one, via a cart that moved around the room. But now they can go wherever they want. They're wireless, and boy, they really help make a lesson really interactive.
Yeah, we have them on carts in our classrooms, so our teachers are able to move them around, move them to those small groups that I talked about earlier. Our textbooks, there are programs that tie right into this, so all of the math manipulatives and items such as that, they could project onto that screen. Kids can actually go up and move items around. So just another tool to deliver more information in different modes to our students. So they started moving into our classrooms at Norvelt and Donegal towards the middle of last year, and just in that short period of time, they became very popular with the teachers.
And I know another popular piece of technology, since we're talking about, is the Elmos. I know at the elementary they use the Elmos. Now, do those tie into the tango boards?
They do. It kind of replaces that, like the projector type.
The screen,
but they still use both. With the Elmo, what it allows the teacher to do is there's a doc cam, so they could actually write, and it will what they're writing will show up on the Tango board. But yeah, they use them both in tandem with each other. So there's a lot of technology, along with our students with their Chromebooks with one-on-one. So a lot of technology in the classrooms right now.
And before we move on with the capital projects, I know there was some work being done up here, and one of the things identified down in Norvelt was a drain that was sort of collapsing a bit in one of the areas, and you had some work done over there to fix that.
Yeah, there's some patchwork done on the playgrounds. Some of the pavement has been repaired. We had some of the fascia on the building was replaced. Gutters that had been in need of repair were taken care of. So yeah, some structural projects to the building. Again, kind of things that if you weren't there every day, you might not notice, but in the grand scheme of things, they needed to be completed, and they've been taken care of.
And at Donegal, not only is it the lighting, but there's a pretty significant electrical upgrade going to be taking place over the course of time. I know there's one thing with the supply chain issues; it's a little on delay. So with the panel, but I know they're trying to find the right time. Maybe that's over a Thanksgiving break, so that they have time to shut everything down, which would enable them to have time to heat everything back up once the electric comes back on. But they're moving in that way, and it looks great in the classrooms and the hallways with the lighting. So
yeah, our custodial staff does a great job during the summer. Floors are waxed. Cafeterias have been spruced up. So yeah, both buildings right now are in great shape. So I'm looking forward to welcoming the kids back.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you're going to have Welcome Back Night on August 25th coming up. So when folks come into those buildings, I know there are always different activities taking place and things for them to see and people to see and programs and that. What can people expect when they come into one of the two buildings on Welcome Back Night?
The big thing I think is meeting their teacher, having the kids see their classroom. Elementary teachers are unique in the fact that we can't keep them away during the summer. They have June, July, and August off, but I see them regularly throughout the summer. So the rooms they're decorated, name tags are out, rooms are ready to go. I think that's the big thing. Everybody wants to meet their teacher and they want to see the classroom. So, obviously we have that to look forward to, but we'll have representatives from DMJ, our busing company there, to answer any questions you may have. We'll have representatives from Nutrition Inc. to answer any questions you may have about your child's lunch account. Our PTO is always present. So, especially at the K-3 level, if you're not involved with that, it's something to look into. But yeah, our PTO will be there and have information for you as well on Welcome Back nights. But it's just nice to have everybody into the buildings and become familiar with the building, see what the classrooms are like. Yeah. They always want to see what the setup of the rooms like, and you get to meet your teachers. So it's good, and kids get to see kids that they may have and friends they haven't seen in a couple of months. So it's always an exciting night.
Hey Scott, I know on the programming end, a couple months back you brought a group of teachers with you to the school board meeting and did a tremendous presentation on a program called ECRI. And I know I saw the excitement and what have you, and saw the gains, and just saw it was something that's beginning to become embedded in that school, and I know it's going to step up grade levels as we move on. So speak to that.
The ECRI program is Enhanced Core Reading Interventions. It's an approach to teaching reading. Our teachers will bring that into our regular core reading instruction, but it also provides us with different interventions. We get a lot of data on our students through that program. It will help us identify some strength and weaknesses that they have in reading. It'll allow us to, really get in and address some of those needs. So it's something we're excited about. We started in second grade last year at Norvelt, or first grade, I'm sorry, in Norvelt last year. Teachers really liked it. We saw a lot of growth in our kids, so we're going to expand that now to include K and 2 at Norvelt. And we're taking that up to Donegal, and Donegal's also going to be K1 and 2 this year with our ECRI program. And that's all part of a bigger picture that we have planned for our elementaries. Mr. Bentler and I have had this vision of instituting this multi-tiered system of support for our students, and ECRI's part of that. So a lot of bumps in the roads the last couple of years with education, with the pandemic and some online learning. So unfortunately, there are going to be some learning gaps there. This is just another tool to help us enhance the learning experience for our students.
Absolutely. And like I said from the beginning, I saw the excitement on their face, and I know you've spoken to it since, and people bought in, and it's a program that's really going to
Got a lot
become
of buy-in, yeah,
part of the fiber of your buildings, which is great. Another thing that I thought of as we were talking that is unique to your building, you have the class of 2035 joining us this year. That would be the incoming kindergartners. And that being the case, I know over the last couple of years, you've actually worked along with Mr. DeMero, and you've created the Staggered Start. It's
Right.
a way for them to get acclimated to their surroundings without having that first day of just shock of coming in. Can you speak to how that works and
Sure.
what you think of it?
In addition to the welcome back night that we've
Yes.
talked about, we have a staggered start for our kindergarten class. So what we do is it's the first 3 days of school, we divide our kindergarten classes into thirds, and we bring a third of those students and their parents in to school. So we bring them in after buses and drop off and everything that happens in the morning. The parents will bring the students in. You'll go to your child's classroom, spend some time with your classroom teacher, get to know your teacher. We take the parents out, and parents get to meet the administrative staff, the counselors. Nutrition Inc. will be there, DMJ will be there. So any questions you may have about school that aren't in regards to your child's classroom and the teacher, we will help you. We will help address that for you. Then what we do is we take the kids to lunch. They have their first lunch in the cafeteria. Then the parents get to spend 40 minutes alone with the teacher for that one-on-one time, get to know the teacher, ask questions. They'll help you set up your their communication tools they use with the teachers. Bring everybody together, take that first bus ride with mom and dad, and then we call it a day. So that Monday the 29th, Tuesday the 30th, and Wednesday the 31st is staggered start. So you only come, the kindergarten students will only come one of those days. And then Thursday, September 1st,
Everybody.
kids come by themselves for a normal day of school. So their first school experience will be with mom and dad, and it helps in that transition. And I think this is our third year doing it. The teachers love it. The parents who have gone through it have loved it. So it's a nice transition to school.
Great. And I know one thing that at your building that's a little bit more challenging than most is the pickup and drop off.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, you wanted to speak a little bit to your families about the pickup drop off, especially at Norvelt.
A little different there. Donegal is pretty straightforward. Doors open at 8:35. We have lanes painted in the parking lot for drop off. Buses park in front of the building. One thing that we would ask for you to do at Donegal is as you pull in, if you're dropping your student off or picking them up, and like I said, we have lanes painted in the parking lot, that you keep your students in the car with you until you reach the crosswalk. We want to avoid situations where we have kids getting out of their car late or back in line and walking through parked cars and walking through buses to get to the building. So that line moves pretty quick up there. Just be patient, wait till you get to the crosswalk and have those students cross. We always have somebody working the crosswalk. Have them get to that point and walk across the street just for safety purposes. You're not getting out any faster anyways. If cars in front of you have to drop off as well. At Norvelt, we have, for those of you who are not aware, we have an early start time for students who get rides to school.
Yes.
So it's an 8 o'clock start for them. You can drop your students off. They come down to the cafeteria. They can eat breakfast at that time. They can work on homework. From 8 to 8:35. At 8:35, we open the door for students who are riding buses. That helps alleviate some of the congestion that we have there in the morning. And then pick up at Norvelt if you've been through it. It's congested. The one thing I would ask for you to do is everybody's going to receive, if you haven't received your letter from me, there are pickup procedures in there. There are drop-off procedures. Please follow those. There's maps involved. If everybody follows those, everything will work out. I know we're all busy and we have things that are going on, and we have people who try to park at certain spots and work around it. But if you follow those procedures, everything should work smoothly. The one thing I would suggest to you at Norvelt, if you don't like waiting, and this is a little known secret, but the buses are out of Norvelt by 3:40, 3:45. If you want to come and pick your child up at that time, you could pull right up to the front door. There won't be anybody there. We have people who wait 40 minutes. They'll show up at 2:45. We don't get out till 3:30. You could pull right up at 3:40, right up to the front door, pick your child up and go home. Yeah. So if you want to avoid that wait, just come a little bit later, come after the buses go, and everything will be fine.
Yeah, and then we've looked at that drop-off pickup so many different ways, and you've pretty much ironed it down. This is the best way to go, and it works.
It's
if
tough.
Everybody's working together as a team,
but
it
I
works
just want everyone to know that alternative is there. You don't. Yeah. We do pick up first from 3:20 to 3:30 or whatever. If you wait till after, the DNJ does a great job getting the buses out. Our teachers do a great job of loading the buses. Within 10 minutes, all the buses are out. You could come at 3, let us know that you're picking up, come at 3:40, drive right in, pick your student up.
Need a little more patience on days 1 through 5, maybe at the beginning.
Yeah, the first couple days are a little hectic, but
a lot of 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds or so.
Getting 500, 7-year-olds on the right bus is always a challenge, but we do it.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Mr. Breyer.
Absolutely.
Hopefully everybody that had a chance to tune in found it to be quite informative. Hopefully you see everybody on August 25th for Welcome Back Night.
Looking forward to it.
And we look forward to opening the doors and greeting the students, whenever they come back. So,
absolutely.
Thank you, everybody, and
thank you.
Have a great day.